people think of cycling challenges, they think of the epic climbs and relentless miles.
I've got to climb better. It's hard to pull this much weight up a hill.
To finish Steamboat Gravel is no joke.
Feels awkward. Feels really awkward.
You have to believe.
So this is really like your first real gravel ride.
Yeah, this is the first time on gravel.
125 miles, over 10,000 feet of climbing.
We're in hell.
A test of endurance, spirit, and willpower.
That was super wild.
Nobody has ever conquered a race this tough without having to dig deep.
It's killing us.
Especially if you're brand new to gravel cycling.
So I got a lot of work to do.
We take 4 beginner cyclists and push them to their limits.
I didn't know if I could get out of bed. That's how sick I felt.
Challenging them to conquer some of the toughest bike races in the country.
We've come a really long way in a really short time.
This is more than just a race. This is a journey. And we're starting from the ground up. Past 3 seasons, the challenge has been the Leadville 100. And this year, we're switching to gravel and taking on the Steamboat Gravel Black Course. 125 miles, over 10,000 feet of climbing.
At any given moment, someone is either helping or pushing the other person, and you create lifelong friends, memories to help you move forward in life beyond bike racing.
I feel like I'm living on a prayer a little bit.
Beginner cyclists, this is not the challenge I would recommend. The Black Course is really one of the hardest gravel courses in America. I would recommend this challenge for a pretty seasoned cyclist, someone who's been doing this for many years.
Whoever thought up this hill was a jerk. That's a challenge, that's for sure. For me, it's just wow.
This is going to be a very, very difficult challenge for someone who's just had months on the bike. Almost impossible.
It's cooking out there. It's an oven.
It's 125 miles. I mean, it's about 10,000 feet of vert. This is not the champagne gravel that a lot of people are used to with Steamboat. This is big rocks. This is, a lot of ruts. So I think it's going to be really character building for them.
It's a massive challenge. That's what we try to do here at From the Ground Up, is ask ordinary people to do impossible things and see where they land.
Steamboat really prides itself on tradition, very heavily in ranching, very heavily in maintaining this purity of old Colorado, while also accommodating modern change. So we really found it to be such a beautiful blend of community and recreation.
My name's Louis, prefer Lou. I like to be active as I can be. I'm an old athlete and been playing sports since I was a kid, and that's a big push of why I'm here, of like reclaiming some of myself back.
I'm Kristen Myers. I've been in some really hard spots, but I didn't choose those spots. I want to push myself to the limit and then go past it, but I want to choose what I'm gonna do.
Never in my wildest dreams would I think I could be doing what I've already done.
My name is Brenda Lee. I am here to prove to myself that I am not defined by a disease or a chronic pain condition. I'm here to prove to myself that my body is mine and it is powerful. Maybe this is the right way for me to kind of come back home, come back to myself.
Richard Wright, I'm from Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm 60. Just because you're an age doesn't mean you can't keep trying. Other than meeting my wife and marrying her and watching my kids be born, this is one of the neatest things that's ever happened to me.
To kick off this 4-rider cycling journey, we're heading over to Victory Bicycle Studio in Memphis, Tennessee, a place that's more than just a shop to me. It's where part of my cycling journey began, thanks to the owner, Clark Buttr.
I believe in this project, I believe in you all, and I believe in the team behind this project.
He's not just the guy behind the counter. He's been a mentor since I was a kid. He helped me find a path in cycling, helping lead to where I am today as a pro. It feels right to come back here where I was born, to gear up these new riders as they find their own path in cycling.
Oh, hi guys! How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good, how was your flight? Let's do this!
Yeah, Memphis, Tennessee, here we are. My name is Clark Buttr. I'm the owner here at Victory Bicycle Studio in Memphis, Tennessee.
I'm Clark.
How gnarly is the ground up project? Can I look in the camera for this? This is way gnarly. We're talking about a over 100-mile gravel race at altitude in Steamboat Springs, Colorado in 5 months. This is gonna be great, and the coolest thing is regardless of what happens in August, a lot of amazing stories are gonna come from this. A lot of personal growth is gonna come from this. There's no doubt we'll inspire along the way.
The crew just met up, literally fresh off the airplanes, so everyone's gonna start getting fit.
What we're gonna do is literally look at a little bit of range of motion, mobility, flexibility, things like that. Our process here has always been a fit-first approach to bike riding. We get to meet them, know them a little bit, and run them through our sizing process of looking at their inseam, checking flexibility, mobility, general range of motion, understanding any sort of history of injuries that may have limitations.
Upper back. I get a lot of upper back stiffness and tightness.
Okay. That's what we really try to find through our sizing process is who has a better fit out of the box that we then can really dial in and tailor to give the customer the most ideal, perfect fit to work with their body's mechanics. We do have an upper thoracic stiffness as a concern. A fit's crucial. I mean, it truly is. You know, you have to think about a bike. It's a workout machine. It's a weight machine on wheels, right? So you're doing a repeated, repetitive motion of pedaling tens of thousands, if not 100 of thousands of times, depending on the length of your ride. So having a perfectly well-fitted bike is just ensuring they can ride pain-free. They're not going to incur injury from the activity. And ideally, they're going to be able to ride a longer period of time before their muscles fatigue.
Check it out. This is the Felt Breed Carbon. So this is their new carbon gravel bike. Gravel-specific group set. Way light. It's way light. You got all sorts of elevation you're going to be climbing up. This is what's going to get you to that finish line.
It's like weighs as much as my handlebars on my bike, I think. Super light.
I think the colors are stunning.
I think it's badass.
But super cool. This bike handles like a road bike, high performance road bike, but you have all the clearance to do SBT Gravel in August
Ooh.
on it. Let me hold your Partake. Feel your bike. Check that out.
Oh, it's so light. Holy shit.
I like it a lot. My kids are gonna flip out over it.
This is
They've been
awesome.
bothering me all day. Did you get your bike hit? Did you get your bike hit? Very clean.
Yeah, I'm pumped. We've got everybody on different bikes, and there's a clear wide at each one of them. I'm super excited to see you guys ride.
Yeah.
Always awkward getting on these things because they're 2 inches or so off the ground. We are going to roll into a fitness test, and kind of back to the how newbie are these riders. We're going to set a baseline test today, and the coolest thing is they're only going to see improvement from here. We're going to be doing 20-second standing drills and 30-second standing drills. These are fundamentals that I want to drive and it to become total habit.
I know eventually I won't be able to ride. There's a history of dementia and Alzheimer's in my family, so I know odds are that eventually it's going to stop. But until that point, keep rocking on.
Awesome. Rich, one gear easier.
I figure I'm still healthy enough that I could go for it. Kind of gave up on stuff and really health-wise was bad until I got a 2-page letter from my doctor after physical and started joining the gym, started just riding stationary bikes. So I wanted to do more and get out on the road some.
Think of why you signed up for this project and put yourself there.
My mom made me pick a sport. She didn't give me the option to sit idly by because I was slightly rambunctious. If I didn't have something to do, I may or may not be in trouble doing other stuff. So cross country, I got my butt handed to me on my first run. I think it was like 6 miles. It's like, you've got to be kidding me, cramping and dying, and that kind of stuck. It was hard. That's kind of how it's always been with me in sports, is like I've always gravitated towards the difficult stuff. I think that's what really led me to being here. I've ridden a bike before, but not to this extent. So this is probably one of the hardest things that I could think of to put myself or test myself to.
No complaints on my end. No.
In order to get you all to put out your best effort, we've got to kind of tap into that red line a couple times.
I have 6 kids and a wonderful husband. I have done a pretty good job of moving forward through hard things and trying to keep my kids' lives normal and fun but I focus on that a lot and not necessarily on like, what do I want to do? How am I going to make my life more meaningful and push forward? When I first started riding bikes, I just made my son do everything for me. I can learn how to fix a bike and how to stand up and ride. It doesn't always come easy, but continuing to push and ask questions and spend the time on something new, I think that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
This is for you, Kristen. You finally get selfish time. You deserve it and take full advantage of it.
I ended up going to college for journalism with a focus in sports. Last year, I was the executive producer of Prime Video Sports Talk. Amani Toomer was one of our network hosts, and he was involved with From the Ground Up. So when he went out to Leadville, our team also followed him to follow his story. And there was that overlap between what I was doing and obviously what From the Ground Up was doing. And I felt a little something in me stir and was like, wow, this is I should pay attention to this more again. And it kind of felt like a calling back of sorts.
30 seconds.
The bike is a vehicle, and I was at a point in my life where I really needed a vehicle to get back into my body. My body was a space that I, yes, occupy every day, but mentally, emotionally, I left it years ago. When I felt that little tingle kind of when I was at Leadville, it was like, oh, there's something special here.
This is a lot harder than I thought it would be, just the first spin class. It was hard, because I haven't done anything like that in a long time. I mean, I've done rides longer than that, but again, they're holiday lights ride, the Halloween ride, it's social rides. It's not that fast for sprinting. And I got a lot of work to do.
Day 2, we're here in Memphis at Victory Bicycle Studio. Today we're gonna ride our bikes for the first time and jump in on a little group ride that they host here on Saturday mornings.
This is a community ride, and what was really neat about that was introducing 4 riders, not from Memphis, that are here now on these new super fancy bikes, riding around.
I have just felt so out of place. You guys wanted beginners. What's up? You got one.
Welcome to Memphis, Tennessee, where we do not have topography. You'll not encounter any mountains today, and there's definitely no elevations. Getting on and off the bike. Number one, we're all learning. We're all learning. Let it take a sec. I feel like I demonstrate this well because I believe my legs are shorter than anyone here by far, and I can stand confidently over any bike by doing this method. So number one, notice when you approach the bike, this is hard, right? This is already hard to lift my leg up. Lean the bike towards you, swing your leg over. Now you can stand on the bike.
I wish I would have started doing this a lot longer, so I'd know these people better, because it's a great community and family. They all know each other. They've allowed me to come along. This is going to help a lot more, because I want to do more and more. I wish I would have known this community 30 years ago and not when I'm 60 now.
I think it's more fun to ride with people than on your own. It's fun to be in that community and to push each other and just explore with other people.
I'm motivated by other people that, are in the same boat. They're doing it, why can't I? So that's why I figure I'm here.
The day kind of started, I started feeling really emotional in the morning. There was so much adrenaline and the swag and all this stuff. I stopped Alexi so that we could talk about my bike shorts, because that was something that I was really worried about. I deal with a lot of pelvic pain, and I needed to have a conversation about how am I going to be able to handle this bike. Is it going to be the padding in the shorts? Is it going to be the bike seat? For a long portion of my life, I was a big advocate for period pain, for endometriosis. So talking about that wasn't something that I necessarily got embarrassed about or ashamed about. It was something that I was, proud to be vocal about. And then when I was in my early 30s and I was raped, that changed things. Because yes, I have this physical pain, that's a reminder, but that physical pain from this, this disease is now also carrying this emotional trauma with it. So it's a constant reminder. a constant reminder of what happened. That has frozen me in my life in so many ways. I've stopped advocating for awareness for endometriosis, and I've stopped living.
For Brandalea, it's been really a lifelong journey of trying to find a place where she is comfortable in her body and feels confident that she's going to be able to do something physically that pushes her. And I think that this project has really pushed her to get past that comfort zone of pushing her body to do something that she isn't necessarily sure she can do.
I was never an athlete because of my endo, because I felt like I couldn't be consistent, show up working out, show up with training and all of that stuff. But I was still active when I could be. I love hiking, I love yoga, and since the assault, I stopped doing anything that would raise my heart rate, because as soon as my heart rate would start going, it's just flashbacks. And then when we got on the bike for the group ride, it was overwhelming, because obviously there's riding the bike, the physical pressure of a bike in a very sensitive area. And I was just like, I'm not ready to face all this. I've done so much work in therapy to get by it mentally and emotionally. And I think I've done a great job, but I need to physically move on. I need to be active again. I need to embody my own body again. And it's scary. It's like, no, I don't want to feel my heart racing. So, right when the ride started, I was just all in my head. It was just all so consuming. Just like, no, get off this bike. You can't do this. It's not time to do this.
Just even taking podcast right now.
So the group ride, beautiful city, great idea. It was really hard. By the end of the ride, I felt like I made a promise to myself that I did commit to do this, and that it is time, and that I'm not alone in doing this. There's other people around who are really supportive, and I'm the only one who can sit with these feelings. There is an aspect of healing that needs to be done in community. That can mean sharing my story. It can also just mean me and my feelings and letting someone be close to me in that time. And someone holding that space and like, yeah, you're going through something right now. And I'm here for you. I'm not gonna leave your side just because what you're feeling is really scary and really hard and really difficult. I'm just gonna be here. If you need me, cool. What it felt like is there were just all these people around me who were just like, we're here and you're okay. And you're safe.
She's into it, she's committed, she's pumped about it, she's excited about it, and that's been really cool to see because there's a new level of joy and excitement that's surrounded this project for her. Seeing her happy makes me happy, so that brings me a lot of joy.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
So fun. What a cute little city you have.
We went out for that community ride. I had a really tough ride, and in that moment, I made a very firm decision. You're either turning around or you're going to move forward. And I made the decision to move forward. So I knew that even if I spent the entire day falling on my face, on my knee, getting bruised, I was going to keep doing it because I made that commitment to myself. And so even though it was really hard and tempting to turn around, I've committed to this and I want to get better and I want to learn how to do it. So we're gonna keep moving forward, sideways and forward.
One of the traits that's most important when taking on a big challenge like this is just that determination and sort of grittiness to push through the hard times.
It's beautiful.
Because it sounds hard, but when you're in it and you start off these first few weeks, it's kind of a reality check of like, whoa, this is gonna be really hard. And I would say something that's given me a lot of hope and encouragement is just how tough and motivated each of these riders is.
Having trouble remembering that I do deserve this.
On the next episode of From the Ground Up,
I'm a little nervous.
we head to Bentonville so our riders can learn the fundamental skills they need to take on Steamboat Gravel in just under 5 months.
These hills, man, they kill me. I'm nauseous a lot.
I hate Ryan Road.